feel at home and comfortable just sitting here smelling some bags of weed. Like, you're like, show me what you got. Yeah, I got this. Yo, show me what you got. Yeah, I got some of this. Let's try some of this. All right, cool. Which one do you prefer, bro? This is your podcast.
Dude, I mean...
Did I spell your name right? Is it Scarbrough?
No, there's no O right here. I get that a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, that was beautiful.
That looks
though.
good. Thank you.
Yeah.
I try to do it for each of my episodes. You
Oh,
know?
okay. Oh, my bad.
No, it's good, bro.
Hey,
I
I
want
would
to
have
spell
kept it
right.
original. I would have kept it. Yeah. So how that came is my great grandfather was Scarbrough, and then my grandmother, she was part Indian.
Really?
She got So Scarborough, you know that Scarborough is in Ontario, Canada. So I have a lot of family out there.
Really?
Scarborough.
You're Canadian?
I mean, well, my grandmother who was Indian got adopted by Canadians. So I mean,
So
I don't know.
Somehow you're Canadian, bro.
Yeah, but just by paper maybe.
Yeah, still so what?
That's
freaking. Do you know all your lineage?
it kind of gets choppy after that. Like I told you, like on my mom's side, like she didn't have a father, and then I didn't have a father,
right?
And then his relationship with his father is just it's all that. So literally. Which is kind of frustrating to me. I'm like, that's only going back 100 years or something like that. I can't at least get
that's
a little
the legacy.
Bit,
That's your legacy.
Yeah.
But see, this is the beauty. You can create your legacy.
And
that's why I think we get along so well, because you're fucking creating.
because we know what it takes,
to
really, because we both, well, you have a lot more ownage, but I have my own house and my own family. Like, ain't nobody help me with that. Like, so
I have a big chip on my shoulder when I hear about people who get given things. I'm like, it must be fucking
must be nice. It must be. But then you think about the mentality of, as far as like would I be as hungry?
No.
Because if my dad maybe gave me his house or something, but it would have been nice. It'd be a lot easier instead of me.
He's the only person that is more positive than me, because I spin everything. I'm usually saying what you're saying, like, oh yeah, but I wouldn't want to be given shit. I would want to be hungry and earn it for myself, and that's why I love him so much. We always, every time we talk about it, he do, dude, Steve, you're killing it. You're fucking crushing it. I'm like, not really. He's like, yeah, you are. I'm like, every time I'm like, God damn,
even
bro.
you're doing things on large scale, but even, you might be complacent to your own workload.
Yes, it's perspective. It's all perspective. Because
exactly,
you get to a certain level, and then it's like, oh yeah, I'm good, because you got to that level. But like to somebody else, it's like, whoa, you got so much. You're like, well, I don't have that much. But it's just everybody in their perspective life.
What you got here? Yeah. Oh, this is just.
I have not smoked a blunt. I don't think ever in my life. No.
So these are.
Sean's like, no, never, no.
Yeah. So these are
just big ass
pink,
joints.
Pink Divas. If you go, on Bailey or something, if you, whatever. These, this is what people like if you're. You ever heard Swishers, like Swisher Sweets or whatever? No. People like crack the blunt with their nails open.
No, bro.
Okay.
You're educating me. Continue. Is this
okay?
Really?
Yeah. So Swisher Sweets are. I thought that was a common enough name, but that's like a full cigar with tobacco already in it.
Okay.
And then people break it in half, dump the tobacco guts out, and then they just keep this part.
No,
but this thing is beautiful because it just leaves you the part that people.
The paper.
Yeah.
Yep. Really nice paper.
Yep. There's tobacco leaf, or whatever. Not
that
all
looks
that.
Super nice.
Yeah. These are little, because people backwoods and stuff like that are much thicker, like leaf part.
Oh, really?
This is all tobacco.
When you say backwoods, you mean like the jungle?
No. That's another brand of He said
backwoods. I was like, what are you referring to? Where they're pulling actual leaves off of shit and rolling it? Like,
no. Yeah, backwoods just another brand of
what a great name for a brand name.
Yeah. That's on like all rap songs or it's a pretty.
I'm not into that, dude. I am such a goody two shoes when it comes to all this. I just started getting into weed a couple years ago, like. And then that's great. And I did a whole bunch of shit. Like I did mushrooms, cocaine, like all
dang. But so you're gonna have to tell me about that.
Sorry. Is it getting in the camera?
Yeah, you just put your hand right in front of the camera.
Sorry. I'm having a good time. Hey, Amanda. Ow! She's beating me.
So
this is awesome.
Space
what's a woo banger?
No.
Two shoes? Do you know?
No.
What is it? What's the term?
A woo banger?
What's a woo banger? He doesn't even know.
I thought you would know. It's like I think it's a blunt with weed and cocaine in it. Woo banger.
Nobody wants it.
No, yeah, I don't. Yeah, they put
He is a
hash.
specimen. Look at him. Look at the size of his biceps, bro. He ain't doing no woo bangers.
Oh, you just said you were a goody goody, and I was like, I wonder if he knows this term.
Test me as much as I can.
Yeah, no. Stay that way because when I first smoked, I was like a sophomore in high school, and that's what was big, Swisher Sweets or whatever. So that's what I smoked out of blunts. But recently, like in the last couple of years, I've been smoking out of glass.
Me too.
So like I brought a blunt just because I didn't think he was gonna be ripping a bong as we was talking.
Dude, we could put it right in the middle.
I would have. I just didn't. I just thought it would have been like.
I tell Sean all the time, it's my cabin rules. Like when I'm at the cabin, there are no rules.
Wow, I like it.
You still got to get up there.
I do. I really do.
So this dude is like asking me to go hunting, and I'm like, yeah, we'll get up there. We've been trying to connect, and then he just goes out and does it on his own. Nails a giant, like his first year hunting. A giant buck.
It was pretty nice.
It was amazing. And then
that was my second year ever. So I was 29 years old.
Yeah.
So first time I ever hunted, like legit. So the first time I ever hunted was I was 19. This is my first year in the Army in Fort Drum. And in Fort Drum, you have like field, you have like field ops and stuff like that. But some of these fields, you could go on there and do like personal hunting. And then and during that time,
like on the base, it's base property.
Yeah, well, you're not on the base, not the living base, but like the training section.
It's owned by
it's all owned by Fort Drum.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So I got to my unit in October, and then actually I acclimated. So by the time it was November, they took us turkey hunting. So
what?
you have to go.
The military did this.
For camaraderie. It's a lot of camaraderie.
That's my whole reason for hunting. That's why I got into hunting originally, is for the camaraderie. That's the best part about hunting. You get to go to a cabin with your buddies. You drink, you shoot guns, like you do whatever the fuck it is.
It was still during regulation time, so we couldn't like drink it or obviously like smoke or anything like that. But it was still it was my first experience, and so and this was during bow. So we didn't have any ARs or anything like that. And it was just really just kind of hanging out, just like laying in brush and just doing that, just laying in brush. And my buddy, Sergeant Stone, like he was like, just talk about like turkeys in the 100 meter, whatever. It's right there and what I should do and stuff like that. And I thought that was cool.
That is super cool.
I didn't even shoot or anything. So
but still, just the knowledge and you got to get dressed. You got to get out there. You know what gear to get. And then you had somebody that was mentoring you. Like I didn't know the military did that.
And this was like the first. It wasn't. So in the military is a lot of gray area. So it's pretty much like your higher up gives you a plan of what needs to be like accomplished like that week, that month or whatever. And then now, hey, Sergeant Steve, I'm gonna give you my intent of what I want these jobs to be done, but you're gonna do it your way. But just don't do it stupid to reflect on my leadership because I gave you the power, to do it. So pretty much, when you're a team leader, you have, you're in charge of 8 to 12 guys, and pretty much what you do with those guys is
up to you.
Yeah, it's up to you. So during that, that weekend, we finished all, all
That's
our
so
stuff.
Cool.
Yeah. He's like, hey, this is where we're going. Meet me at my truck or whatever, and then we drove, out in the sticks, within like Fort Drum. Fort Drum is huge. But
I know. I was gonna say, I'm sure it's the United States government. What do they not own?
And just like that. So and so that was like the big thing, like in the military, like different like leaderships, different male roles, and it's just like, alpha male after alpha male. But that's the beautiful part because there's only going to be one of us. So we compete.
We talked about this, being an alpha male,
So there's really, it really is.
That's legit. So you didn't shoot anything?
No.
But that was your first time?
Yeah, first out being, quiet, concealment.
And then you didn't hunt until?
When I was 28 over in Canada. Right on my
farm,
buddy. Farmland.
I remember seeing the picture still. I can see this vision to this day. Like you're in the middle of that cut cornfield. And you got that. I was so jealous of him because I'm like a serious ass hunter, right?
You
set all my shit up, and I'm getting these little ass bucks. And then he sent me a picture, and he says like, "Look what I got, big ass 8-pointer."
Yeah, but that took 2 years.
Do you want a grinder?
Oh yeah, yep. I was just gonna
in
break
that
this up.
in that little drawer right there. Yep. You like Rick and Morty?
Who doesn't like Rick and Morty?
Yo, let's go.
Well, unless maybe
Yo,
politics
check this out. Did I show you this
wise.
part?
Oh yeah, this is sweet.
I showed you that before.
Oh, that one's yours? I
Yeah,
didn't know
yeah,
that
a little
was
Rick
yours.
and Morty grinder.
I fucking love Rick and Morty.
Fuck yeah.
That
There might
is
be a
sweet.
little weed left in there.
Oh
actually.
yeah, it's a little, a little
Mix it
little
in,
time.
whatever.
Yeah,
What's the
but to say,
difference?
yeah.
Weed's weed.
You ever bust the bottom of it or whatever to get that keef or whatever stuff at the bottom
Bro,
of
you're
it?
speaking a different language to me now.
Let me see each one. Oh, okay, here we go. Let's see. Let's go. Oh, okay.
What?
So
Well,
I guess
I
you didn't.
barely- I
Yeah, I was
barely
about to
used
say
it. It's
yeah.
super clean.
So this is, the
That gets you super
fine.
fucked
Yeah,
up?
yeah. This is the leftover THC that's grinded on the,
top. Off
on
the
the
top.
plant itself. So that's
Keef, isn't it?
Keef,
Yeah,
is that
keef,
the word?
yeah. Or
He just said it.
I know my terms still.
Your drug
Oh,
lingo?
I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention.
Ex-druggy.
Yeah. So yeah. So
Sean was quite the partier in high school.
Heck yeah, brother. Yeah, one thing I wasn't, I smoked, like I said, I smoked in high school,
Yeah.
but I never was a partier. Like it was so funny because when I was in high school, it was these smart ass girls and stuff like that. Smart girls always, the ones that raising their hands and just
And they were the
doing it.
ones smoking the weed?
Dude, and then I go to football party or something like that. These girls are on like Adderall and stuff in high school, bro.
That's
and I'm
kinda
like,
wild.
yo, and I'm like, is that's why y'all so goddamn smart, or just
It
like,
probably is.
like, or just being, like those girls, like you try to holler at them in high school, whatever, they act like they was like too good or something. Then
Yeah.
we go out to a party, like out in like Wheatfield or something like that, and then they're actually like loose and stuff, and they like hugging me and stuff. I'm like, what? I'm like,
Yeah, you can't acknowledge me in school, but
I
out
know,
here.
but then I'm like, oh, because y'all all drugged up on like some other shit, besides like, so
high
that's
school was such a time.
of just like,
I didn't know anything when I was in high school compared to who I am now.
yeah.
And now that I'm older and I realize everybody's nervous all the time about talking to each other. Everybody's got something going on. The people who were like popular kids in high school, I'm almost jealous of them that they had that level of confidence in high school, if that makes sense.
Okay, I feel
You know
it.
what I mean? Like, to be that confident, to be that cool, but they were just probably faking.
I was gonna say they were
just
probably hiding.
faking.
Yeah. They weren't real. They were, and that's the psychology too. Like when you talk about like high school to like now, like or like bullying or whatever. It's like you never know what these people were like going through, and they were just like
and their home life
projecting
or-
it in high school.
And what their parents are like and what they're putting on them and all their stuff.
And what front?
See, and the only thing I will say to the credit of some popular kids, Sean was probably the most popular kid in my school, and he is the most genuinely nice person there is. Like,
he had
for
to be
whatever
like
reason, you were able to just
be
get
real, yeah.
super cool. I think it had to be your dad.
I was just gonna say, you just said it right there. I mean, you were talking about parents and stuff and how you were raised. I have to give props to my old man. So, thank you, old man.
Yeah.
You raised me.
His dad
you
is
raised
just
me
the
right.
coolest laid
Yeah,
back son of a bitch
he
you
probably
ever
just kept it real. Probably just told his son what shit was and what it wasn't, and
He's just happy.
it
all
just
the time.
He's
He's very happy.
patience. I
Yeah.
feel like if you're
See-
patient, I think you're happy.
Yeah,
the
see,
most
and I
part.
think you get this because you're going to be like this with your kids. It's like I'm real with my kids. I almost probably too real with them,
Yeah.
but I would prefer that they hear shit from me versus hearing it from somebody else that,
Yep.
and it's not right.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And you're pretty good about that. You seem to be pretty direct with your.
Yeah, I'm very. I have a daughter and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm going to be even more as far as I was just talking this with my lady as far as like when my daughter becomes like 18 and she's like, because every kid or I feel like everybody has like a club or going out time
thing.
or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
their
definitely
thing.
18.
Oh my
definitely
God.
for a
Oh, you mean
female.
clubbing? Like,
yeah,
you mean
clubbing or
yeah.
night out or past 10 p.m. for
Nothing good
8
happens past
yeah,
10.
yeah. So I'm like, you got to be with her on those few times. You got to go out with her to show her, sketchy guys, sketchy girls, situations that, still let her, let experience be the greatest teacher. But like in a situation, just like pointing out,
Yeah.
hey, look at this lady, look at this corner, look at what this guy's doing, see how he's interacting with that girl, how,
That's a really good point of view.
Like, yeah, like just be
Because you're not going to stop it. You're not going to stop her going out.
Yeah, that's our thing. You just have to be like reactive and just know the situations, and then you could be comfortable being uncomfortable. You won't freak out when something, you know,
Dude,
out of the.
you are on my level. I
I've been chilling
love
with my
talking to this
daughter,
dude.
bro.
That's what my new favorite thing is. I enjoy being uncomfortable.
That's great. Yeah, that's like growing. That's like the. Like, I don't know, I feel like a definition of like growth, you know, because
Mature-
if
yeah,
you're
yeah.
not being, you know,
Oh,
if you're
growth.
Steve and you're fucking
Yeah.
having it your way every day.
I think that's how you get complacent. That's
Yeah,
how you get lazy.
yeah.
That's how you
Everybody
get
get,
bad.
yep.
And it's weird because we're designed as human beings to want easy. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
As a human being,
Yeah.
our biological body wants the
Yes,
easy.
yes,
Whatever
yeah.
is easiest. It's such a mind fuck.
It is.
Because you have to chase the hard. You know what I mean? You always have to chase the hard.
Yeah, you motherfucker, you chasing.
I'm gonna study this because I have never.
Oh yeah.
I never watched.
Yeah.
I love the.
so-
We got to give props to. Maybe we'll get it sponsored. Rick and Morty.
Yeah, just
burger,
that
bro.
space, you know.
We got to edit that out if we're gonna get trademark infringement.
Actually, I want you to do it again.
Yeah, I was on the wrong camera.
Ah, Rick and Morty.
Yeah, no, this look crazy.
I'm clipping that.
Yeah, please do. That could be a quick 10-second clip. Like, shout out to my boys Rick and Morty for this sweet ass grinder. Whoop, whoop.
Do you do any impressions or whatever?
No, I don't. I don't even watch the show.
Well,
I
you
don't.
just-
I don't think I've ever watched an episode.
It's a great show.
Is it really?
Dude, it's
If you like science and shit, it's
I
pretty
do, I
good
love science.
comedy.
Yeah, and or all the myths and.
Do you watch it?
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah,
Come on.
What 4 seasons maybe? 4, 5 seasons? 5. I'm pretty caught up, bro.
No shit.
Great animation. I'm I like to draw. Great animation. Great.
You like to draw?
Yeah. Or I'm aware of lines.
Are you
being
into anime?
connected. Yeah. Oh yeah. Come on, big anime fan of since since I was
See,
a
I mean,
kid
I
and
know stuff about you. I just don't think I know everything about you yet. I don't. We've never gotten a chance to sit and talk like this.
Oh yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I knew you had tattoos, but I didn't know what they were.
Yeah, that was a crazy. I had so I was probably like one of the first people with tattoos, and I had my first tattoo when I was 14.
Wow.
So yeah, so I got in trouble for it because I refused to go in the pool because I got a fresh tattoo. I'm like, I'm not about to get chlorine on my tattoo. So teacher thought I was bullshit or whatever, and I had to go down, principal and
Oh Jesus.
like, yo, I got a legit tattoo, and obviously you can't get a
When you're that young, and
yeah,
like, you're
yeah.
not
So,
supposed to be
but
doing that.
I was already working since I was like 12, from summer job, and then I was working at McDonald's when I was like 14 or something
Yeah,
like that. So
I
had my
started
own-
super early.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, but I had my own money. My mom just had to sign off
Really?
on it or whatever, and she
Yeah,
didn't.
it's just a tattoo. Who
Yeah,
cares?
and like I said,
You want a little
single,
small piece of paper or something?
a single, yeah, just like a,
got like a Post-it
index
note?
card. I was trying to scrape
Ooh,
it up
index
like
card,
this.
definitely got one.
I was trying to.
I actually got exactly that, my man.
Well, thank you.
I like to take care of my guests.
Yes, sir.
I don't know. This is an education. I don't know how to roll a blunt like
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
God
yeah.
damn.
Yeah. So we
I'm gonna
have
get so
the-
high I won't be able to finish the podcast.
I've never been like the roller of the blunts or the joints. You know what I mean? I could never do it.
just
I
brought
I
them?
don't know if I have the finger dexterity for it.
No, you gotta do. I
Never
got these
worked.
big old gorilla fingers. So I guess you just
You are
have
a
to.
big dude. You are a very big dude.
I was just talking. I was like, because my lady never met you. I was like, and I was trying to describe you to her. I was like, you just got to think of a big lumberjack, fucking dude. I was telling you, I was like, dude, he's like a lumberjack or something. He's like, you got the voice, like, dude. If you were in a fucking field and
Yeah.
you were calling for people, I would know that was Steve.
If I was sitting there chopping a tree, like, yo, Anthony, like,
like,
oh, that's Steve. Yeah,
I know
So he's
he's
got the
right.
axe in his hand and everything.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is kind of my lifestyle. I would call myself a woodsman. I'm very,
Yeah,
I
that's
very
it.
much am like a. I write down affirmations,
Oh, wow.
and one of them is I want to be a master woodsman, a master carpenter, a master hunter, and a master baiter.
That was a good
Just
one.
kidding.
That was a good one.
Yeah! We can't hear it. That's like going to be a running thing. Eventually, that everybody's going to be like, Sean, why are you freaking out? Because they can't hear the sound effects.
That was great.
Yeah, no, I take
Affirmations.
pride in being really good at certain things. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
I feel like you do too. Every time I come over your house, you're doing something else.
I'm always trying to, I'm always just trying to learn or I'm just trying to be very dominant in a few things that I know I'm good at,
yeah.
because people, who was I just talking to? My one buddy Russ, we was just talking about like books or whatever, like in like high school or middle school. It was like read 20 books during this period to to get a good grade or whatever.
You mean
And
20 pages? Because 20 books is a lot.
I was about to say it was something like that. It was a lot. You know, it
That's
could
a
have been
lot of
like
damn
5
books.
books. But I just know
I was
like
never good at that in school.
Yeah,
Those,
same.
reading club things, I never
same.
could do it.
And I just but in that space or in that if you're not reading, you're like you're a dummy or not
Yeah.
looking. Even if you got good grades or whatever, you're just not looking as top or whatever just because you don't
as academic.
like you read. So that I feel like that society or whatever that was like kind of frowned upon. But like when I was just talking to him to bring it back, like I have like 4 books that I read, like I have read like maybe 4 times like each, and I'm like that works. Like I'm reading these books multiple times to like really understand them.
Reading. It doesn't matter.
Bringing it back.
I was just gonna say that's why I sucked in school because I wasn't interested in the fucking books they gave us.
Yep.
I want to read the Grapes of Wrath. I don't give a fuck about the Grapes of Wrath.
Mm-hmm.
But I got all these self-help books and development books and discipline books. I love them books. I'll read those front to back, and they're 300 pages. I'll do that in a week.
Yep.
But it's got to be something you're interested in. We've talked about this before. If you're not interested in stuff, it's so hard to do it. Like anything. I think we all have like low level ADD, and I think it's just what they call disinterest.
Yeah,
Because
yep. And they try
if
to.
I'm not interested in something, oh, that guy's got ADD. No, I just don't give a fuck about that. Like I want to do what I want to do. That's what I'm interested.
Yep, and you're putting everybody in this box and like, hey, this is how you have to learn. And
Well,
if you don't learn
school is
it,
that box.
Yeah, school is that.
You gotta do things a certain way, or else you're not considered smart. But that's not the truth. There's a lot of really talented, smart people out there. It's just in the fields that you're interested in.
Yep. And I feel like school is just probably a system to either further you to be a great cog within the system, like they're like, hey, go to college because we're gonna get 100,000 out of you.
Yep.
Go be go get it, be a lawyer or something.
Do certain life paths,
so we could tax that money, go make 200K so we could take that.
Do you know what?
60K from you.
Did you see the social media reel then, or whatever it is? I'm pretty sure the school system was founded by John D. Rockefeller, and you know why he did that? To create better factory workers.
I thought the factories was after World War I or something like that, or
yeah, the school system was to make better factory workers for his.
Rockefeller.
The super rich.
monopoly.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's a oil tycoon.
Yeah,
Can you look up who founded the public school system? Because I want to say it's Rockefeller.
Rockefeller.
And they did that the way you said it. I thought that you had already seen it because the way you even said like to make you a better cog in the machine. That's literally what he wanted. Like it makes sense.
That does
develop a school to train a bunch of farmer kids to be better cogs in the factory machine.
Yep, exactly.
Isn't that creepy?
Exactly. But I mean, if he's already making billions, he just knows how to make
More money.
money off of people.
Well, and I see this all the time.
And it's
Once you make your first million, everything after that is super easy. Because money makes money. Like if you got $1 million to turn it into 2, nothing. To turn 2 into 5, nothing. It's just a matter of time. Like you just got to invest it in the right things. It's just a matter of time. John D. Rockefeller.
Well, Horace Mann is getting credited as the father of education. Rockefeller and General Education Board encouraged local.
Yeah, but I feel like Rockefeller bankrolled it and was on the boards.
Yeah.
Did he make the
Yeah, he was
railroads?
involved.
1800.
No, he was oil.
1880.
He was oil.
Okay.
Rockefeller is oil, right? Carnegie is steel. He was the great steel magnate. Rockefeller was oil. I don't know who was the train guy. Starts with an M, maybe? Who founded the trains? Super rich off of trains, but whatever. Dang, man. I don't know if I could be making blunts. This seems like a lot of work. I like my pre-rolled coins. Or pre-rolled cones.
Cones, yeah.
That is
I
the
asked
bomb,
you, yeah.
dude.
Yeah,
I use
cone
that
would
the king something. The king size
Oh
ones.
yeah.
Yeah, they come with a perfect cone on them, and you just
It comes with 3 of them in there.
yeah.
Right,
I buy them by the box.
Oh, okay.
I buy like 100 at a time. I'm not
Yeah,
messing
that's
around, bro. Come
perfect.
on.
Yep.
Yeah, that thing is like massive.
Yeah, I mean, you could just fit like 3 grams in a blunt compared to
Jesus.
like a half a gram. That just feel like
in a little
smoking.
joint. Whatever, brother. Oh, do we have a lighter? Yeah.
Yep, I brought one.
Is it hot in here? I'm sorry, I got the fan.
Oh yeah, it's. So.
Oh my.
Rockefeller was oil.
Rockefeller was oil. Who was trains? Because I don't know that. I know Carnegie was steel. Carnegie was the big steel guy. He's like building all the factories and whatnot. I wish I could be billionaire rich.
I heard a quote. Who said it? I wish everybody could be rich so they could know that that's not what they want or something like that. You ever heard
You
something
wish
like
everybody could be rich. So that
that? No,
people
I,
realize
no,
that they
it
don't
was a
wanna be
quote
rich.
I heard. It was saying like, the person said, "I wish everybody could be rich, so they know." Man, no, I wish everybody had gotten everything they wanted, so they know that's not truly what they want, or something like that.
Ooh.
And I heard that from
That
somebody.
sounds really good.
But yeah, but you know, I'm somewhat of a minimalist anyway, so I always
I feel
think
like,
of
yeah, I've gotten that. I can get that feel from you.
you know, if I ever feel overwhelmed, my first thought is like I need to get rid of some stuff because I'm
Really?
living outside of my means. Like if I'm getting upset because you know, it's too many dishes in the sink or something, I probably should have less dishes. You know, like why do I have
That many
eight
dishes.
different cups? You know, maybe I should only have 4, and now I could take care of 4 cups way more
Right.
effectively than having 8 cups. And I'm looking at dishes that's dirty. You know, why am I getting upset for having too much stuff? So it's just like it's like
You're
a
creating the
old,
problem. Yeah.
you know, proverbs or something like that of.
How did you get to think like that? It's very
Well-
wise. I feel like.
No, I think it might be just like the single mom stuff. Always, you know, raised
I did
by
want
a woman.
to. I did want to ask you about all that because I do find it. Like I said, I was a goody two shoes. Yeah, of course. Yeah, start it up, brother. I'm gonna follow your lead here. I've never smoked a blunt before. This is crazy.
Yeah, it
I
might
mean,
be a
I
little
can handle
strong.
my
Yeah.
weed, Amanda.
Yeah, you'd be all right.
I can handle my weed.
It might just be a little stronger because of the
Yeah.
tobacco leaf or
That's
whatever.
gonna,
Oh,
Harsher. There we
really?
go. Yeah. Might be. Yeah. You might be. Yeah. You'll feel it.
I'll
Or
be
you
fine.
know.
I'm
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
worried
Yeah.
about
You be.
Is there anything you don't want to talk about?
Oh.
Anything that's too private or too sensitive?
Uh,
Which she can edit out, whatever. Just so you
yeah.
know, she's awesome.
Talk about it.
Oh,
If
oh.
you do want it out, I will.
Oh, okay. I mean,
just
if we're
say it.
talking about like being like guys and you know like our old like you know like exes or any kind of crazy experience like that where we're like name dropping or scenarios or something like that, maybe you know
take it
just
out.
for honor because you know I have you know my lady and stuff
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
right,
but
right.
you know I would you know
You're pretty
I
much
don't
open
lie.
book.
You know
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
one thing I don't do. So
That's
even
why
if
I
she
love
did
you, man. Yeah, I know.
get upset, I'm like I'm talking about a past experience like of my life to a close friend like. And if you do get mad, I'm about to get mad at you because I'm questioning your mentality.
Yeah.
Because you know, like
Well, then you're not really friends.
yeah.
That's what I try to tell. I've had this conversation before. To be a good friend with somebody, to be a best friend, to be a brother, you got to be willing to say and do the hard stuff for that person. Otherwise, you're just like everybody else.
Yeah, you just say, yeah,
You're just like everybody else. You know, a good friend, a brother, or whatever, somebody really close to you should be able to tell you the hard things, say the hard things, do the hard things. That's what makes you special because you're close. Oh, damn. My man.
yeah, it's hitting. It's hitting.
Is this good film material?
I love watching it.
You want some? You can't.
I can't smoke. I'll smell it, but I can't smoke
Oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah.
Work or just
And Amanda's a
Work.
no,
Yeah,
oh.
work. Yeah.
Amanda's a sober person. I'm sorry to do this in front of you.
Oh, okay.
Well, me now. I like the smell of it.
Yeah.
So I was gonna
It's
say,
such
like,
a-
I love the smell of marijuana.
Yeah.
It's such a
Really?
like,
Fuck
yeah.
yeah.
Maybe because it was in my past so much, but like
It's nostalgic to
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Almost
Maybe
Yeah,
that's
but I
nostalgic.
say I feel like smoke.
cotton candy and marijuana are my two favorite smells now.
Can't get marijuana. Dude, that's legit. We need like a. You know what I got to get is like a podcast ashtray. We should get one with our awesome logo on it. That would be dope.
I can take care of that.
This is why I got a team, dude. You see that?
What's up,
See how
dude?
legit
That's
this
what's
is?
up.
What do you want to put here? Can we do
Yeah,
this?
yeah. I was just gonna ask you on this paper thingy, but
No, we shouldn't put ash on paper, bro.
Why
Did you, look at, where's your logic in that? You're
Dude,
gonna start the place on fire.
no, it's ash, bro.
That's
no,
true,
no.
that's
I was
true.
to say, come
It
on
is
now.
out.
I'm the blunt experience.
He's
I'm
a
not
blunt expert.
You know, yep.
Um,
and then you know, ash would get all up in your teeth right here.
Yeah, it's true,
And then
it's
you don't want to grind that up.
All right, I'll take it back.
Yeah.
a
But
good-
say,
that was a
that's
good call.
you know,
It's a
ceramic.
cool one, isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah.
It's smooth.
You
'cause
gotta
I got
watch the
other
show
ones.
now. Yeah.
I do have to watch the show. I have other ones, but they're not as smooth as this one. You said it's ceramic. That would make sense because the other ones I got are metal.
Yeah, but I like it because it you could actually see the wear and tear on the metal. I'm like, I mean that metal that had to go somewhere. It's probably my
probably
weed.
my lungs. Yeah.
Yep. Just,
I am curious because of your past, like, because you are really proud of it almost.
oh yeah.
In a sense, like the way you talk about it, the way you take care of your family and your brothers and your mom, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever really heard the whole story
Yeah.
about.
So
I know, like your dad left. I don't want to cut
Yeah,
me off, but I want to know because I like to see different perspectives of different lives. Mine was so cookie cutter. Mine was so simple.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
easy.
Mom, dad.
Yeah, just,
business.
Yeah,
and,
just really simple.
Yeah,
you
you
know?
work. Yeah, he's probably working with your hands. Probably changing the oil with your pops.
My
at
dad,
like 10
he
or
was a
something.
mechanic. He legit was a
Yeah,
mechanic.
yeah.
So I mean, he had me. I remember
Doing
being
extra.
in my dad's garage in the back, and he had cars he would work on to make extra money on the side. And, hey, go pump the brakes, get in there.
Wow,
and, he's
wow.
deaf, so he told me to
Yeah,
sign it.
yeah. But I say, yep. It is
You know,
crazy.
and then I'd be in there, pumping the brakes.
Oh,
But
yeah. I've always say that too, but how phonetically or how nice you are with the sign language or whatever.
thank
Always
you.
be, always tell us, I'm like, yo, Steve just be talking to his dad. We be swooping
I
and stuff
know,
like that.
yeah,
You just be
yeah.
bop,
I
bop,
forget
bop.
that you were out there playing basketball.
bop, yeah.
You know what? It's so second nature to me now.
Yeah, I
that
know,
when I
yeah.
do it, I don't even think about it.
Know that you even talking.
And people would be
probably.
staring at us at restaurants. And when I was younger, it used to bug me a lot.
Oh, okay.
Well, because like
You
people
know,
just be staring at
any
you.
kid, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm
younger
a kid.
be-
And I'm like, why are you staring at us? Like, I didn't know no different. Like, why are you
But
staring?
yeah, but they were just impressed. Like, dang, this kid is.
I'm gonna
dude,
pause.
you-
I don't want to get too high because then I can't talk to you. I'd be, what's your name again, man? It's on the board.
It's on the board back there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to get that high that I don't realize that his name's on the board. So yeah, So what? When did your dad leave? Like, what? How did?
Yeah,
that
yeah,
even happen?
that's great because I guess I could belly back because I would love to know the way you grew up with being with sign
Definitely.
language and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So that's cool. So yeah, so yeah, my father was never there from birth. So. All right, so I was my mom's second child.
Yeah.
So my mom had a daughter, my older sister, Talisha. We have the same mom and dad.
Okay.
My mom is light skinned like me,
Yeah.
and my dad is brown skin. Or
You're
whatever,
brown,
just dark.
bro.
Yeah. I mean, well, I'm like, you ever heard that?
Lighter, yeah, darker,
yep.
yeah, I
Yeah,
get
yep.
what
So he more, yep, darker. So, so my sister 3 years older than me. So after that, then when my mom had me, I came out super light skinned, like almost like white or whatever. So then my dad wanted to do a
Blood test.
because I came out, and I came out with blue eyes and shit too. So
No
it was just-
way.
Yeah.
Are
I
your
got,
eyes blue?
no,
they're
they're like
as
brown.
shit.
They're just like light brown or whatever.
changed?
Yeah, yep. They just changed.
I'm so jealous of people who my wife is like changes on a regular basis. I think that's so amazing.
Say,
Really?
Yep.
Because your eyes are brown as shit, bro.
Yeah, yep.
They
Just
look
brown.
blue well.
Sometimes they might be like light brown. But,
Yeah.
But
So you want a DNA test because you look like a
yeah.
white
So
kid?
that's just gonna be, and I'm always not saying my mom's a saint, but during that time, like my mom was like only
Yeah,
with my dad.
listen,
she a grown woman.
no,
Whatever,
yeah,
she can do
nobody's
whatever.
perfect.
And it was evident that whatever. Boom. So Bob, that happened. Blood test, whatever, come back. 100%, 99.9, whatever, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so just never. He was in and out of jail and stuff like that. Them streets.
Yeah, I get it.
Right. I lived in Niagara Falls and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I guess back
rough
then.
neighborhood.
Yeah. All around here was pretty crazy as far as like the drug movements around here.
I
Definitely. Buffalo. All the way in like Williamsville. Like shit was moving. But I say, did you know? Was it Rick James?
Yeah,
Is it Rick James?
it's
Yeah,
from
but
here?
say, it's
Yeah,
from here.
I did. I didn't know that until I was like an adult. I was like, wait, really?
Yeah.
From here? There's actually
Yeah,
a lot
there's
of famous people.
very,
What's his name? Not Jocko.
David Goggins.
David Goggins is from
Yeah.
Buffalo.
I
Yeah,
love
he is.
David Goggins.
Dude,
Yep.
he's
That's one of the
super
books I
legit.
read.
Stay Hard?
Yep, Stay Hard.
Stay
Yeah.
hard.
Wait, no.
That's what she said.
What's his name?
That's the best. I must say that's what she said. I definitely say it on a daily basis. It might be reaching 3 or 4 times a
Might
day
be.
now. I say it a lot. I say it a fuck ton. That's what she said.
It's just a good. Definitely when you
fits.
get a good one, even if it's just too silly, it just fits.
No, I love it when it's like a really serious moment and somebody says something and then I say it and everybody's like, like
That's a good
laughing.
one. Yeah,
it's
that's even. Yeah.
It gets you really good.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
Yeah, so he was not around.
Yeah. Not around. Till I. So I was really good in like football and wrestling and stuff like that. So, like I actually got like like I was a blue chip athlete. Like I went down to like Florida and or like Orlando to play football at like such a young age or whatever. Because I was like the next one up.
Yeah.
And so then that's when I actually started building like the first like memories of my dad because I started being like him in high school. Like he's like, oh yeah, my son is kind of beast in football and
Yeah,
wrestling and shit like
well,
that.
Yeah, he's proud of you. So
Yeah, and it's great, you know, blah blah blah. But you know, so he helped me out with, you know, getting college and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Going and I can just spit this out.
Yeah, whatever. You do whatever you
But
want.
yeah, that's pretty much. So he was just never there. Yeah, just absent. So it just literally my mom and then my older sister. She was 3 years older than me, which is so she watched me like a lot. Like maybe her development came maybe from like watching me because like I said, my mom was always working.
That level of responsibility on a young kid like that definitely develops, helps develop who you become as an adult.
Yep, and I don't want to speak for all communities, but typically like in a like black community, like children kind of like babysit like real early. Like my sister was babysitting like at 8 years old, like
Wow.
like probably all
But
day
that's probably
feeding me.
really, but that's probably really good for her. Like the
Yeah, but she should,
responsibility.
you know, she shouldn't have to sacrifice that from not being a kid. You know, a regular 8-year-old should be playing with Barbie dolls, but she
Do whatever
literally, you know, feeding me and making sure I'm good because I'm the fucking baby or whatever.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So you know, it's like she raised me. So, and it's crazy because my sister, she played football at 12, so she taught me to play football. She was the only girl. Like that's not like normal, and she was like starting. Like, you know, you might see a girl like on a football team at 12, you know, you ain't gonna see in high school, but you know, boys and girls are pretty similar from like 10 to maybe once the boy get 13 or 14, you know, once you start
puberty.
Yeah, whatever. But they all
starts.
pretty much. Yeah, my sister was like she was the strongest, she was the fastest. Like nobody couldn't out wrestle her or tackle her. No one was faster than her. Like we, you know, pole to pole. Like if in the street, you know, everybody raced.
Yeah.
You know, everybody.
I remember
blah,
doing
blah,
that.
blah. Yeah. She'd
We
take
played
her
a lot of
shoes
street
off.
football. So I was there for a lot of that.
Yep. And the
Might not
funny
allow the
thing,
league
yep. And she was the girl, so the guys obviously wanted to be with her too.
Yeah.
Like on top of try to, you know, best her.
Right.
Which was crazy. So I had to be, you know, I was the little bro or whatever. So
Defending your sister.
yeah. So and that also, you know, because you know I was younger or whatever. So obviously I was like scared of going against, you know, she was 3 years older than me. So you know,
kids,
so I had to
a lot
stand up
bigger.
to 12, you know, whatever, or anytime 3 years older than me always.
Oh God.
So that was
Even
always.
now I'm afraid. people 3 years older than me.
No, always. So that
No,
always,
not now.
so that gave me a heart or probably or my bravery or whatever. Because at the end of the day, like, you know, that's my sister. Like, you know, even if she's older than me. So that kind of.
Do you think that was a good thing? Like, do you?
Oh
feel
yeah,
it was a good thing?
in retrospect, absolutely. Like that was a
Yeah.
good thing. Like my father not being there. I mean, I can't say because now I'm a father. Like, he could have just like been there. Like you could just like be around helping, but he was just like absent but alive. Like I just like left for funeral. Like life is just gone like that. And like I was like your seed.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying like any like dad issues, but just like facts are facts.
Yeah.
Like you could have
Done
like anything. Like
even a little bit more would
could
have
have taught me how to. You could have taught me how to fight. I learned how to fight from my uncle.
Yeah.
Like game from my uncle and my sisters. Like
Yeah.
you could have taught me anything, even though like your life essentially was like a negative. Like bro, like
I know what you're
essentially
saying.
like in the case, even if you was in jail, like bro, you're chilling, working out, eating ramen noodles. That sounds like a decent, you know, like that's not a hard work, you know. And I'm out, like in the fucking like army.
Does it
and
make
shit.
you like want to be that much better of a dad to your daughter now?
Absolutely, because like we was talking about, like I'm the first, essentially, you know, father doing it because you know I have no like father, no grandfather.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So like just those two lifelines,
Or
you know,
absent.
is on my shoulders. You know, like you know, I don't have to put it on my shoulders, but like
No,
in
but that's
reality,
why-
it is
that's
on my
why-
shoulders.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's
why I
like-
love your personality so
Yeah,
much and why I love you because I'm so curious as to like what made you be good. Like it just you're so different than your lineage. You're like a lineage breaker.
Yeah.
There's a set. I can't. I've been saying this over and over to a bunch of people,
I think I know what you're
and I
trying to say.
can't find the right term. But there's people in like a generational history, right?
That just has to
that
say
one
enough,
just
bro.
does something completely different than all of his ancestors before him.
Mm-hmm,
Like they were all bums, they were all farmers, and then he goes to be a lawman. You know, like he was a know nothing, and then he got a mill. Like how? Who? Like what makes that in
mm-hmm.
you? My dad is that. My dad's that for his. His dad was never around.
Yeah.
When he
he
was,
just
he's an
wanted- yeah.
alcoholic. Didn't do nothing for him.
Yeah.
Like, and my dad just somehow became very disciplined and a great guy, and then he instilled that in me. And like, you're that for your lineage.
Yeah.
Which is kind of
Yeah,
crazy.
it is crazy. Like, I don't know, you know, if you big on like on religion and stuff like that. Like I'm not.
It
you
is
know,
on my
gonna-
list of shit to talk about, brother.
Oh, okay.
I do
Yeah,
want to know your
yeah.
religious
Oh.
views. That's part of like my. I always like to ask my clients, not clients, I'm not working.
Very cute.
Look
anybody gets clipboard.
It's from work. I'm always trying to be professional. I always try to, when I'm talking to other contractors, I'm always like the client. I feel professional when I say that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
No, to my guest, and now I forgot what I was talking about.
Well, that term that you were looking for is called cycle breaker.
Cycle breaker. You're a cycle breaker.
A person that intentionally changes multi-generational family patterns. So
Yeah.
intentionally or unintentionally, you're still that person. You know?
Yeah, that's him. That's what I'm saying. Like he broke the cycle,
breaker.
and that's like that's why we're friends. I think.
Yeah.
Because your energy, man, you just
Since
you're such a good dude. I think inherently, and I think that's why you were the cycle breaker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Back to your question, because I've tried being bad, right? Like we all, or just it could be like luck too or whatnot.
Yeah.
But I tried being bad, but just something in the back of my head is just like, like what, and just the fact of just the consequence of my actions of obviously jail or my life is.
No. Yeah, who would want to go to
Trump's
jail?
that.
Sorry, I thought I
Yeah.
heard knocking on the door.
No, you're good. So that's.
We're also high as shit. Am I right?
Yeah.
Maybe
You
I'm
guys are the
hearing
ones
shit?
without headphones on and asking us if we heard knocking.
I thought I heard banging. Nothing.
This is
Send the girl out.
Yeah, we're high as shit. I can't fucking answer the door.
I ain't going to the door.
Sean's
Good.
terrified. Yeah.
Not that
I'm
scared.
sorry. Bro. So, you didn't want to go to prison?
Yeah, no, like I never went to jail or. Maybe 4.
I told you.
Yeah.
I did hear it that time.
Come on.
Now we got
I'll
ghosts.
get it.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Not. Oh man, we can go deep in that. I believe in spirits.
We gotta put that down.
Yeah. Definitely, I believe in spirits. I believe in energy. Like I don't believe it's like a form with like a face. If that's like a ghost, like not torn, but
Like a scary looking ghost.
yeah, I would
but there
definitely
could
would
be
think it
spirits.
could take form like a.
They're knocking next door. On the door on the side here.
Okay.
They're like pounding on the door.
Who is?
I don't know, a couple with a baby. They're in the rain.
Do you own that property right there?
Yeah, I do.
Is there anybody
I'm
living
not
in
getting
that
involved.
property?
I'm high as shit. What would you do if your landlord came up to you like, hey, what are you
I was
doing?
just wondering if there was anybody there.
And my eyes are all fucking red. They're like, are you fucking high? Yeah, I'm fucking high. And this is my goddamn building. What are you knocking on the door for?
Odds are they're high too.
I feel like weed has become very socially acceptable. A lot of people are
it
smoking
is.
weed.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of
And I
people
like
smoke
it.
weed.
Yeah,
Me
yeah. Because it
too.
used to be so like tight
Taboo?
ass. Like taboo. Yeah, like
What did you
even
say?
Tight ass. Like
Tight ass.
like people would have been like looking.
Yeah. It's like looked down on.
But like, hey, you want to hit this too if you could, but they're like, oh, but I can't. Hey, like, no, it's way more.
I fucking love it.
Socially
It's my.
accepted.
I call it my spirit drug because I'm not a drinker. I'm not a big
Yeah,
drinker.
same. Like I
really
drink
don't like
socially, because
Yeah.
I ain't no bitch, but I definitely prefer just smoking.
Yeah, me too.
It's too easy.
I forgot where we were. You got some good
Oh,
weed.
yeah. Try, yeah.
That's some good shit. I don't remember what we were talking about.
Well, he asked me if I believe in ghosts and stuff.
Ghosts.
Something like that.
Energies and spirits.
Yeah, for sure.
I too believe. I don't believe in scary ghosts like ghosts with face and shit. I do. I'm an energy guy. That's why I said I love your energy.
Yeah.
You're just a good dude. You're a
Just
really
do
good
as well, bro.
dude.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I don't fuck around. Like,
I know you don't. I know you.
I
don't.
mean,
You're a good
karma too, like for real. Like
Yes.
like if I, it's gonna come back. Like
dude. I try to bank good karma. Oh, I thought you were gonna say something because you leaned over.
Well, if you bring up karma, that kind of leads into religion because that is
Yeah.
that comes directly from a religious view. So
yeah, I mean,
I forget which one it is. What is it?
High
Hinduism?
as shit.
yeah. Hindu, Buddhism, put all that shit together, bro. Like golden rule. Do
Yeah.
good, to others as others do upon you.
Yes.
Like there's so many similar sayings. Like so. I grew up Christianity. I
too.
have a Christian tat on me or whatever. I plan on getting other
Are you
religious symbols.
Are you
and
gonna
stuff
teach
like
it to
that.
your daughter religion?
Not solely a religion, like
certain one.
yeah. Like that's
Explain to her
yeah.
about the view of
like
Of religion and-
you have the world and
For the longest time, I never even said anything to my kids about Jesus or God. Like, they didn't know we never talk about it in my house.
Yeah,
It just never comes up.
yeah.
And I think the only time they learned it was in school.
School
Because they came home when, like, we're talking about Jesus Christ. And I'm like, how do you know about that? Because I've never said anything to you. You know what I mean? Am I too far? Or not?
Oh,
Stay where I am? Are you moving? Sorry. Yeah, you adjust.
yeah.
Probably.
Probably
Don't need to say anything. It's because I'm talking to him.
I didn't know. Okay, I thought you were pointing at me.
He's all stoned and paranoid.
I am stoned.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
And there's somebody banging on the wall this whole time. I'm
That
like,
was a little distracting.
That
the
was
banging,
super distracting. Religious. Yeah, it never comes up. And I'm like agnostic. I've said this on all our podcasts.
what is that? And
Agnostic is I know and respect that there's something bigger than us.
oh yeah, okay.
And
yeah.
I don't want to put a label on it. I don't I'm not gonna like bow down to it. Or no, I'm not bow down to it, but I just acknowledge that there's something up there and I respect it because if it wanted to squish me, it could squish me like that.
Yeah.
So I'm just very respectful that there's something bigger than
Yeah.
us. And it gives me something to kind of believe in when things are going wrong or whatever. It just helps me to feel like there's something up there, like kind of looking down on us, like that could make it worse or better for you.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know
no,
what I mean?
no, yeah, exactly. Like, because if you're feeling that, you know, it's billions of us. It has to
Yeah.
be other people feeling that same thing, and that's
Yes.
where
That
that
collective energy.
that change will happen because just like enough is enough. Like, you know, we was talking about, you know, we're just like people like that. You know, like if we have, you know, if we have to.
Can you? It blows my mind. Who was the first group of humans to like get together and say, "Hey, there's something bigger"? Like, or like the Bible wasn't. I guess it was around since Adam and Eve. That's their story. But
No,
you think cavemen were sitting there like reading the Bible?
no,
there was no Bible.
No.
But they probably
But
believed
they
in some
had
kind of
to keep it
religious-
going. Yeah, you know, just being out in the woods or whatever, just being out in like nature, knowing that how nothing like dude, if you was out in the Sahara with lions, how nothing like we really like are just
Oh,
like
us as human
yeah,
beings.
as humans
Yeah,
like
we're soft bags of
just
blood.
Just-
Like you poke your finger, you bleed. We're so weak compared to the rest of
yeah, but
nature.
the world would just keep spinning, and just be like nothing. So like as far as like just like respect and stuff, like I don't know. I just gotta probably try to put myself in like so many different shoes and just like really know, like you say, like banking, like good karma and stuff, like
yeah.
like because it's really nothing good from being like a shitbag or anything like
No.
that. Like
I think
a
I
lot,
don't,
like
that, doesn't that blow your mind
it
that some
really-
people want to be bad?
yeah, and I understand, like you know, because it's easy or maybe you get something from it, but
No, I think there's some people
Yeah.
out there who enjoy evilness. Like
Mhm.
you know, what I mean?
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
some bad.
yeah, it is some
There's some
bad.
bad people out there, man. It just blows my mind because I want to be a good person. I actively try to be nice and good to others.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
And to think that there's people out there who are actively trying to scam other people, like or steal from them all the time,
Yep, yep.
I feel
Yep.
bad for them. It's just what a terrible
Yeah, or yeah. I think
existence.
yeah, or people. Yeah, I used to hate or like complainers or something like that. Because immediately, like if I hear a problem, my brain instantly is how can I fix it? Like I wouldn't, you know, I'll
Dude, you are
complain it.
me.
Like,
he is-
that's funny.
Do we not say the
A
same
lot
shit?
of similarities. Like you bring good people on here, man.
Thank
Like,
you.
like not
Yeah,
just
yeah.
good people, like genuinely good people. you
Oh, I know.
Like, not just good
I
guests.
surround I
Yeah,
think as
yeah.
genuinely good people, we attract each other.
Yeah,
I
we hit it
really-
off. Yeah, immediately
oh my
once
God,
we
yeah.
met each other.
In training for
yeah,
Time Warner
training for Time
Cable.
Warner. Why they made their transition from
The Spectrum.
the
From
Spectrum.
Time Warner to Spectrum.
Yep,
we were
yep,
there for
right
the
there.
for the transition.
Big, for the buyout. We was there.
Yeah. I remember, didn't you think we were going to lose our jobs?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I thought it
Everyone
was
was
like,
freaking
oh
out.
no, we're transitioning. I'm like, what are we going to do? Like, are they going to
Yeah.
fire us? I remember thinking, and I think we got raises actually. I think we ended up getting raises or something like that. It was not even
Worried
what
about
we-
getting fired and got a raise.
Yeah, I did. I
the
think we
best
got like
outcome.
a 63-cent raise or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
something.
But those were good
that
times.
was cool. Yeah, we hit it
What were we
off.
talking about? Dude, your weed is good as shit.
Yeah, hey,
I'm
you know,
gonna-
let's spark this
Ghost.
back up.
Talk about ghosts.
Well, I got a
Ghost?
ghost
Oh, yeah.
actually really quick.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
I'm gonna go, but Amanda can finish up
Okay.
here. I gotta take off. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Adios. Dude, you got me high as shit.
Oh, yeah.
That's some
Let's
good
spark this
weed.
back up.
Damn. You smoke every day?
Yeah, probably every day.
Does it make you feel better?
You'll probably get
Like
a
why do you smoke so much?
I like it. Like if you ask, like the amount of smoke of weed I smoke isn't that much, but I like to smoke definitely like before I go to bed
Yeah.
because it helps me like sleep. Or
Oh
whatever.
my god, yeah.
And then probably when I wake up, like I'd probably take a rip, have like coffee, and fucking
Feels that.
get it going. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I'm an overthinker probably.
Yeah.
And definitely when I'm in the morning and I'm like smoking, I'm like thinking of like how, maybe getting some certain jobs done.
Does
Or,
it slow you down or does it clear things up for you? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like when I smoke, because my brain normally, like if I'm not high, is like go.
Yeah.
Like there's shit to do, And when I smoke, I'm very
Yeah.
relaxed.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, that's what you like when you're high, but that's why I do it because I need to come down.
Come down. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I would say I'm pretty relaxed.
In general.
Oh yeah,
or
definitely.
from smoking.
Well, I'm pretty like laid back, and
I know you.
Yeah, I'm already laid back,
You're
so
always
it just
chill.
I feel like it makes me probably even more than what I am.
Yeah.
And it helps. Yeah, I would definitely say helps me definitely think. It probably gets the anxiety out of the job. Maybe I'm overthinking of doing, a certain thing, and like I smoke, and I just probably rethink about it, and I could probably just be there, just like not per se writing something down, but literally just sitting there and just like thinking, just being like in a way of thought.
Yeah, I know. You mean.
And then
I think a lot
then-
more when I'm on weed, but
yeah.
a calm thinking.
Yeah,
Like
and
deep
then-
thought.
And then just like I definitely like to smoke if I'm like gonna go watch like a dope movie or something like
Yeah.
that. Definitely got to smoke.
Makes everything better.
Yeah, something like that. I'm not just gonna say like cheese ball answers like, but it like it helps me does this. But or if I'm about to eat something fire, I would like to probably smoke.
Yeah,
But
love it.
I'm not gonna like smoke like a whole like pound. Like I do it in like moderation because everything, like
In moderation.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
totally,
yeah.
I do it just mainly to help me go to sleep.
It's the best.
It's like my nightcap. Like you know how some people, I feel like some people, their nightcap is alcohol. I just don't like alcohol. Like
I
that.
don't know.
That's my thing. Is like just smoke a joint. Like, you drink a nightcap, I smoke a joint, and I go to bed. What was I going to ask you? You told me before. Do you have PTSD?
I would
the
say,
military?
yeah. I would say. No,
It doesn't help with that.
I would say, for the sleeping. I had, or sometimes I really do have some bad nightmares and shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's
From the military.
I mean, I had it. I would say it was probably more so, like recent history, because now it's just like all fucking, meshed up together now.
Yeah.
But
Like your memory, like your hit, like the memory
but
of
it's just like like certain situations.
Yeah.
Like and then like once you like wake up, it for a while it used to be like a fear of like going to sleep, like because I didn't want to, wake up through like a nightmare. I have bad sleep paralysis. You ever heard of that?
Yeah, I get it.
Okay.
I've had nightmares. I don't have PTSD, but I've just for whatever reason I get nightmares, and I've had that happen to me many
so that
times
helps.
where you wake up and it's like you're waking up from a bad dream, but you can't move.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
fucked up.
Yep.
There's nothing scarier to me.
Yep. And I like can't breathe and shit. And so like through my whole, so like I'm like 100% like disabled through the because I deploy in Afghanistan for 11 months and Kyrgyzstan and Kabul, all that shit. So the
Kyrgyzstan
VA
was the bad one, right? Or was it Kazakhstan?
Oh, it was all right. Kyrgyzstan.
Kyrgyzstan.
Yeah.
What's the one really bad one? Qadar.
Kabul. It was. I mean,
they made a documentary about it or a movie about it. How there was one base out in Afghanistan that was like you were in constant combat. Like they were shooting at you. Every
probably
day.
Iraq when the beginning of the shit.
Really?
Yeah. I served during Iraqi enduring Iraqi freedom or some shit like that. I can't.
I get you. I know. But I follow.
Yeah. So I was in Afghanistan in like 2013.
Damn.
We was out there for. It was like East Paktika Providence and shit like that. I was 11 Bravo, so that's infantryman. So we're walking over.
What's 11 Bravo mean?
It's infantry, so it's pretty much.
That's a designation for infantry.
Yeah. Yep. That's just the military operation, symbol or whatever.
Fast name.
Yup. So yeah, you out there walking over IEDs, clearing shit or whatever, and that's like the scary shit. Because the funny thing is, they show you like videos of IEDs, improvised explosive device, like the shit that they was burying and shit like that, bro. Like, they, I don't know, 100 pounds of HME of just like, a homemade explosive shit and buried in the ground, and with a cell phone or a pressure plate, literally this small, is like blowing up like our trucks that probably cost the military like $500,000 or something like that.
Rough.
And I'm just a young buck, I was in there, when I deployed, I was probably like 22 years old or something like that, bro. In the gunner seat and shit like that. With the 50 cal, which is nice, you're kind of like
cool gun.
big dicking out there because, the big gun is kind of, because we was out there helping the ANA, the Afghan National Army or whatever, to like, hey, this is how we move as a unit in the U.S., adapt our movement so you could pretty much,
so it'd be
police,
smooth,
so they could police their own thing, because that's
like
what,
to copy,
that's what,
to teach how to do that.
teach our tactics to them,
Okay.
so they can police their own like country and stuff like that or whatever. And that's where, like to retrograde in 2013, we was already like trying to pull our stuff out of like Afghanistan and stuff like that.
Really?
Then, yeah. So it took them
the big pullout.
Yeah. So it took them even longer, or whatever. But
wow.
we was doing that then.
2013.
Yeah, when I was doing it.
Wow, they started pulling back.
Not as big as recent history, yeah. But that was the goal, to train them. And we even left our equipment and stuff back there, like our communication tower, so that and stuff like that. It's just so much.
So that's like a common thing that they do, the military.
Yeah, because I'm sure
train and leave their equipment. So the news made a big deal about it, where it really was like part of what we do.
It's supposed to be a good thing. So we cannot, be in their political, have our hands so much in there.
Right.
Train them, let them do their thing. Because it is kind of fucked up. Like the U.S., the one thing people would talk about, like military or being bullies. The reason why the U.S. is strong because our military force, like, we do have the big guns. You fuck with us, blah blah blah. It's for protection, but for like smaller, we're in Afghanistan, not small, but other countries, third world countries and whatever. Yeah, they do need to police up their own, because how else? Right. It's such a language barrier already. Like, we're, so.
So was it like kind of like the Wild West?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. If
so
anybody,
that's what you're saying is like, that's why you need such big guns to come in, because it's not just like policing like you would police here.
Yeah, it's not
they
so
were
much
like getting people used to being policed.
Oh yeah, bro.
Because that was like the Wild West out there.
Oh yeah. You can see, 10, 13-year-olds with AKs and shit like that. And the ROE then, ROE is rules of engagement. Like, your sergeant comes here, obviously, hey, we can't fucking shoot at nobody if they don't have a RPG or something like that. Like, that's like the only way. You better not even point your gun that way.
On just straight visual without being
shot
at?
Yeah. Obviously, we get shot at, return contact, maneuver, all these fucking battle drills and shit.
That's kind of cool.
But but if it's little shit stain, AK, big old banana clip in that thing, you don't know if it's loaded or not. He got it. They all chilling on a fucking, stem wall, whatever little rock wall. They know what, they could do anything, bro. They could chuck a grenade in our shit, bro, like anything. But and then we have to react afterwards, So
yeah, it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah. So we're there, like, I don't know, in the military is always hurry up and wait. Like, you're probably in a spot, wherever they tell you for like 15 hours.
Jeez.
You have to be awake. That's always just a normal thing. You'll get used to that or whatever. And then, and then you'll move, a click or two, wait another 15 hours, and these guys are just there all day. We in they shit, bro. Like,
right, they're home.
Yeah, and we got these big loud diesel trucks, our big old fucking guns. Like, where the fuck, if we had somebody in our neighborhood like that,
we'd
like,
be freaking out.
We already got our guns, so
right?
So
we'd
be the same way.
Yeah, you're
and
right.
Then, and
I guess I never thought about it like
that. It's really
that.
warrior. It's really like third world country. Like, young bucks want to prove themselves. It's like, life expectancy isn't probably,
they really so low,
like I remember I seen like his father and he's like his little boys or whatever, butt naked. They like picking up hay or shit around whatever. Dude, little kid doing
have any clothes?
No clothes. Oh yeah, everybody pretty much like naked. Men wise is like naked or whatever.
What?
Like poverty is like a whole nother world back there. Like don't even get close to nobody. Like, you could see their teeth and shit like that, bro. You don't want none of that. They dip like I don't want to say it wrong, but like a sort of meth or something bad. So their skin is terrible. it just everything is. People always talk, man, but go to a third world country and definitely one that's like savage with war. Like it's like real, like people. I couldn't imagine.
Rough. They're really rough.
Yeah, I always think about like Spartans or some shit like sword and
Oh, I
shield. Like if we had to go
know.
close proximity and really
Yeah.
stab somebody, like that took a whole nother man. And like you,
You
know,
did
and that
that?
was no. I'm just saying, like I think of war back then.
Oh, yeah,
compared
yeah,
to
yeah,
us.
yeah.
Like, I mean, I could go shoot a person,
Right.
a fucking,
And it's not as intimate what you're saying.
yeah,
like
yeah,
that-
compared to really defending your land, you know, like
I know that. I think about that all the time.
Yeah,
That's why I have such
yep.
respect for fighters.
Yep,
Because
yep.
fighters, can you imagine
Yep.
that's like what you do for a living?
Yep.
Just sit there and beat the crap out of
Yep.
somebody else.
yeah,
We're
yeah,
so
yeah.
weak-minded now. Like, yeah, you're right.
That
That's
was
crazy.
but going, doing that, that was and I did that at such a young age, so I guess that, as far as like me becoming, and I'm still like learning, but like I just didn't take it for granted. Like I said, I was like 22 witnessing
yeah.
all this and it's constant. Like you do get like some sleep and stuff like that, get your shit shower and shave or whatever during the military, but it's always IDF, indirect fire, when people, they just throw like mortars, like they're just, they all got trucks and shit, like trucks or a scooter, but they ain't gonna do IDF in a scooter, but in a truck, they got pickup trucks, they got
Yeah.
nice shit too, Rangers or whatever. It might be a little
Really?
bit, dusty and beat up, but that shit is all nice. And yeah, have a motherfucker in there in the trunk, drop a fucking mortar in there, and that shit just, it has no fucking target, comes and drops on the fucking base, and whole base is up, and that shit,
that's where
bro.
your PTSD comes from. Just like the
It just
constant
anything,
worry about
And
that.
then we talk about complacency. You become complacent to that, and sometimes like I don't care if you know the most badass motherfucker in the military. You could go to Ranger school and shit like that, brother. But dude, that shit will like break you, bro. Like that shit ain't no joke. It really ain't.
What
Well,
you
I
see?
guess,
What do you
yeah.
mean will break you? The training or what you see?
Just like the day, the constant like worry, like when you're out there,
Yeah.
the IED shit. Then you just like,
Oh, you're saying no. You're saying no matter how tough you get trained here, when you go out
oh
and
yeah,
see
yeah,
all that
yeah,
shit.
yeah. And they saying like, yo, oh yeah, you're like, oh, was you scared or some shit? Like,
Yeah.
oh nah, bro, I was fucking had 2 guns and I was shooting.
Yeah, bullshit.
Bro, that bullshit, bro. Like,
were scared.
Maybe not at that, dude. It's and even if you were scared at some point, like you might have like some fun. No, it's not fun.
It's
like,
rough.
don't let them bull. Yeah, it's
No, that's why I have such respect for you all the time, man. Like you just are a badass dude.
Yeah,
You've seen some real shit. Like the way you grew up, your mom raised you. You fucking just a good dude. You went in the military. You're just a genuinely good human being.
I try.
I know, man. You're fucking killing it.
Yeah, thanks, bro. Thanks, man.
You're doing
Appreciate
really
that.
good. And then the house you got now, and you're fixing it up, and your daughter.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just
that's
are,
nice. That's just coming
you're the
along.
example of a good human being.
Yeah, try.
And I think that's why we hang out
Dude.
so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I love
yeah,
talking to you. Every
yeah.
time I talk to you, I got a big smile on my face because every time I talk to you on the phone, you got something motivational to say to me.
Oh, you do, or I'm trying to tap in. I'm just, I'm trying to.
He's always
I'm
like,
trying to
Steve,
take
what are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh, you're doing that shit? Fuck. All right, I'll do.
I
Yeah, I'll
gotta
build
go-
this
yeah,
over my
yeah.
house, and it gets
I'm
you amped up to
competitive
go.
too. Yeah. I'm like, yo, okay, what was I slacking on? Cause now Steve, I know Steve doing this. I'm gonna just,
I
just
love
that's
that
it,
mentality. Yeah.
and
I am kind of the same way. Whenever I hear about somebody doing better than me, I'm like, oh, something starts like getting in my.
or just doing, just
I'm like,
doing
I
good.
can't
Yeah,
have them
yeah.
doing better than me. I got to do better than them, and it makes me gets me to work. After I seen your fucking 6-pack in your gym at your house, I was like, God damn, I got to start losing some weight.
I'm like 220. I'm probably like 218 right now.
Are you really? How tall are you?
Like 5'11" and a
What?
half, maybe. I'm probably 6 foot.
You're 6 foot. I'm 6 foot. I'm not
between
taller than you.
that. Oh, yeah, you're definitely taller than me, dude.
I like a
always,
nigga. I'm 6'1".
you pretty tall.
Yeah, I'm 6'1".
Yeah. You're
You're
solid.
6 foot.
Yeah,
218.
I'm definitely
Yeah,
6 foot
about
without shoes
220.
on, I would say.
No shit.
Yeah.
And you could dunk.
Oh yeah, you seen it.
I seen you dunk. God damn.
You seen it.
You could jump higher than that because I could barely dunk. And I'm 6'1", so you have better
You
vertical than
kill
I do.
it. Yeah. I mean, or reach. Yeah.
Let's see, but I want to make sure. I do got a time of 8 o'clock. And I want to make sure we get all our topics in. We talked about your military, religious view. We talked a little bit about ghosts, but that was kind of all interrupted. Family. I talked about your family, government, and overreach. We talk about that all the time. What was it? We were talking about something that I needed to talk to him about.
Did you ever finish religion?
Oh yeah, I'm agnostic. You were Christian, and now you're something else. What do you now? Like, what do you do now?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even know what that word. Yeah, like,
Agnostic?
yeah. I just believe.
Yeah, I don't know where I heard it, but once I heard it, I was like, oh yeah, that's what I am. Like once somebody explained to me what agnostic was,
He's like, that's
I was
exactly.
like, that's me. That's exactly how I feel.
Yep.
I don't really care about God or Allah
Yeah,
or
essentially
Buddha.
like
I don't
names.
care what the name of that
Yep,
being is.
yep.
There's something or some buddies or
That they
multiple
created.
or one, whatever. It doesn't matter. They're bigger than us. They're
Yep.
stronger than us. They could
Just
wipe us out
forces.
with a blink of an eye or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah.
But you got to respect that there's got to be some energy level that's just bigger than us.
Yeah. I'm not like essentially like thinking of like somebody could just like snap their fingers,
Thanos.
have it, or something like that.
Half the
But
universe
but
gone?
it's just I feel like it's just facts or just like life experience, and I'm just like a normal blue collar dude. So if you're not feeling it at this level,
Yeah,
I just don't understand. Like there's definitely just like forces and energies
100%.
that we all like put out. Like
Yes.
like everyone feels what the room feels like if you're like at Walmart and you hear like the ratchet woman yelling at the
Yeah.
the customer service person who's being like super polite and everybody's just like you feeling that
You can
gut.
feel it,
Like you can feel
yeah.
that. What are you feeling? Like we all like are like electric like
There's an energy. There's
Yeah,
a vibration.
yeah, like vibration
I've said
or
this many
something, like-
times.
like-
It's going to be like my thing on all my podcasts. It's energy, man. It's science. Einstein said it. Everything is vibrating. Everything in the entire universe is vibrating. So, like, that's energy. That's a vibration. That's a frequency. That's a energy level. Whatever you want to call it. And yeah, we're human
absolutely.
beings.
Yup,
Like,
yup.
I could feel your energy. I could feel. It's. I believe in that a
Yeah,
lot.
you don't got to be perfect or whatever, but
So that's what you believe in now. Like, what is yours now?
like I mean, like if I'm like praying or whatever, like I'll say like Lord and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So it might be just like out of repetition because I've been
Yes.
been praying like my
I think that's what a lot of religion is. Just tradition that's been passed on, passed on, and then it's like the game of telephone. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's like
it gets a little
not
bit
all-
changed
yeah,
over 100
yeah.
years. Like now it's okay to be gay and be a Catholic,
Yeah,
but it's definitely in the Bible that you can't be gay.
Yeah,
You know what
a
I'm
whole
saying?
bunch of
Like,
shit.
but how does
Yeah.
that change? If it's the law, it's the law. If it's the rules, it's the rules. So it's like I think it's just
Yeah.
tradition that gets passed on, and now for the next 1,000 years, it'll be okay. They'll take the gay part out of the
Go
Catholic
back,
Bible.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Scott, yeah,
because it just changes over time, and who knows what the religion's going to turn into?
No.
Because that's where. Did you know that Christianity came from Catholicism, and Catholicism came from Judaism?
Judaism.
Did you know that? They're just 3 different religions, all deviation from the same religion. Tell me that's not a game of telephone. Like,
No, yup,
you know what I mean?
yup.
Like over the years, the rules get changed a little bit, and the sayings get like altered a little bit because I remembered that a little differently. That's kind of
Yup,
what religion
or
is. It's a
certain-
giant
yup.
game of telephone.
Yep. Or certain
Holy
families like certain like things and it didn't allow
Yeah.
certain practices.
Well, like
and,
what is it in Afghanistan? Predominantly Muslim.
yeah, Muslim. Yeah.
Muslim, and they're like big about the women can't be seen. Like that's just a totally different culture. Like that different religion makes a different culture. I wonder if because it's a different culture, that's like where a new religion will emerge from. You know, like that's how it was. Different cultures at the time, and they just, oh no, we have this belief, and they're like, no, we have this belief. Okay, well now we're Christians, and now you're Catholics.
And like Christianity used to be a place where like everyone used to like when it was like go back before like or was it be like before Christ or something like that?
Yeah.
Like when the land was like unified. If you ever heard
Yeah,
that.
yeah, Judaism. That was
Everybody
Judaism back then.
Spoke the same tongue.
Jesus was Jewish.
And then
That was the
then when people started sinning, that's when the language changed and the
Really?
races changed. And
I
stuff
never
like
heard
that.
this. What is it?
It was when the land was unified, so everything was together.
Is this a story in the Bible, or is this
I
you're
believe
saying
this
real
is
life?
yeah. Oh no, yeah. I would say in the Bible.
I'm high as shit.
In the Bible.
Is this real life?
Yeah. This
Yes,
would be
the Bible is in
based
real
off
life.
Christianity. Yeah, based off Christianity.
Yeah.
So yeah, when everybody used to be together, it was like everybody was like the same race and everything like that, and everybody spoke the same language. And then when people decided to sin and go towards temptation, the races changed, and the Lord or God changed the language, and then everybody
Changed
started
a little bit at a time.
everybody started batting up against each other and
that makes a
stuff
lot
like
of
that.
sense.
Yeah, and then he's like those who wants to be who wants to be on the right path and
Listen to my
listen to my
word.
word, whatever. Listen to my tongue
Yeah.
and speak my tongue, and you will be saved, and then everybody else were, who didn't was, outcast and became, sinners or
so
became
is that like
their own
almost like a
cities
metaphor
of
of like if you
Yeah.
follow the Bible, you're speaking God's tongue, you're doing what He wants. That's His path, and everybody else is the sinner.
And that's and one thing about like I'm not saying I don't know if you get the impression like I'm just like Christian dominant or whatever. 'Cause
No.
even just like that, like my
I-
thought of just Christian, if someone's just like I don't know if it's like authority, it's not even authority, but if someone is just like, hey, listen, my word, and then this is it, and be
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
I'm not with that either. Like I just that's why I like Buddhism or even somewhat of like reincarnation. Like reincarnation, it may not be in the fact of like how it's defined, but it's like I feel like it's real. Like
Yeah,
when
yeah.
we die, we decompose.
Yeah, that's
we eat
Hinduism. I think
stuff
that's
or something.
Hinduism.
Hinduism.
I
Like
think
that's
they believe in reincarnation.
yeah, that's reincarnation to me. I feel like if I die, I become worms eat me. A bird eat the worm.
Yeah, your
I
energy.
become the
yeah,
worm.
but it's just
the
your
bird.
body. I think.
Yeah, it's just
I
the
think
body.
your energy might go someplace else, and it might be reincarnated into a
it
different
might go,
human life.
Yeah. So it's crazy. I'm just open to like whatever. I would never, but I would never listen to. One thing I won't accept is like hate. I won't ever hear somebody say like, "Hey, this is my religion right here," but we hate.
Yeah, right.
Hey, we don't even think about this person or this, this religion over here. Or once they start talking bad like that, I'm like,
Yeah.
whatever you
lost
talk
me.
about, yep, I'm out.
See,
So
that's why I feel like
you
you would like agnosticism. Maybe I should. I gotta figure out a new religion name because I want it to be like the religion of the agnostics.
Oh yeah,
Because I don't want any labels. I
Yeah.
don't want, dude. It's not hard to figure out how to be a good person. Like when you do something bad, like if you were to beat somebody up, don't you think you'd feel bad, like inherently?
Yeah,
Like we
yeah.
know what's bad.
Yeah.
You can feel it almost.
Yeah.
I want to create a religion that has no labels, no name, no whatsoever. We just respect something up there bigger than us, and we're trying to be good people. Like, how simple would that be?
It's too simple. That's probably why.
I know it is too simple.
That's what-
Sean, who
that's
left,
beautiful. That's
he's got a religion he wants that he calls AIR, and it stands for all inclusive religion, because all the religions come
That's
together.
sweet.
He wanted to start, because he
That's
wants.
sweet.
He thinks the same way I think. Like
Yep.
he's agnostic, basically.
Yeah.
Wow, I think he's Roman Catholic, Roman Christian,
Oh,
Roman
okay.
Catholic. But he got his kid baptized.
Is that okay? Is that
Yeah.
when they like not choirs? They like chant or something.
Roman Catholics?
Yeah,
I don't know. No, I think that's just like.
Is that like the God note or something like that? They all
No,
hit
I
the
think that's just a religion.
that
Oh,
stuff?
yeah, that's what
that's
they
the-
do in there. Yeah,
Which liberty? Oh, I thought
that's
that was.
Catholicism, Christianity. No, I think that's
Oh, okay.
Christianity. That's like you ever watch Vikings
I watched
on
it,
History?
okay.
on History Channel? Well, there's a TV show. called
Okay, I think
Vikings,
I watched the TV show.
and it's like
the first season.
shot in medieval times,
Okay,
basically.
Okay.
And they do a bunch of that, like
Oh,
singing
okay.
on.
Okay.
That's how their religion is.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy. My man, this has been a good podcast.
It is, bro.
Where we at?
7:52. We got the.
Anything you want to bring to that? You want to ask on the podcast, brother?
No, dude, fucking. I like your shop here, bro.
Thank you.
Definitely might have to borrow something over here.
I know.
I
He
know, I
calls
see you.
me probably more than anybody to ask me questions about how to do construction,
Yeah.
and I have no problem answering every time.
Yeah. I made that foundation. I made it 22 by 18.
Oh, for the shed?
Yeah.
How deep you go with the stone?
I went 4 inches deep,
Okay.
but I compacted it every time. I put like 1.5 inches. So
Damn,
I ended up using. I originally grabbed 8 yards
Yeah.
of clean gravel or whatever, compact gravel. And then
Yeah.
I actually needed an additional yard because
Yeah,
I
that's not bad.
compacted. Yeah, because I just compacted in layers.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I must have smushed it into the.
So were you just trying to get it to a certain level, like a certain height? Or you like
Oh,
your
yeah.
driveway?
No, it's all perfectly like level now and stuff like that.
Oh, you're saying to get to like back to grade, back to the
Back to
dirt?
grade. Yeah,
Back
because
to
then I
dirt.
leveled it. Yeah, then I leveled.
Oh.
Yeah, because I just, if
I see.
if I threw all of it in there and I would have had plenty of gravel and then compacted it, but then I did it like
Because
a
you did
fucking
it-
cake.
That thing ain't never
Yeah,
gonna
that thing,
move,
yeah,
dude, I'm
yeah,
telling
and
you.
now the
That's
shed's
the point.
on
You
there.
did it right. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
people
it
are
was
supposed to do,
super.
but people don't like doing that work. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. It was all labor with a spade shovel. No, not a spade shovel. It was a square, 10-inch material shovel, and fucking.
Jeez.
Yeah, 2 shovel. Oh, you ever use cobalt? or Husky
Yeah.
tools?
Yeah.
Okay. You know they got lifetime warranties?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's
I just
legit.
replaced 2.
If I wasn't DeWalt committed, I would be buying Husky or Milwaukee.
I mean, do DeWalt even have hand tools?
Yeah,
They got
yeah.
they got
Dude,
a shovel?
I'm a DeWalt
got a hand
fanboy.
shovel?
I don't know about a hand shovel.
What is it? Not a like a
They probably do. They're got their
No,
own
they
brand of
don't.
everything now. They got a hammer. I got screwdrivers.
I see everything.
But not a shovel. You're right.
The whole
Like I
shop
say,
is
that's
yellow.
what I'm saying. Shovel. Yeah.
My whole shop is black and yellow.
Yeah, that'd be sweet, dude.
He knows I'm a DeWalt guy. He's a
I already
Ryobi
know.
guy.
I already,
I
yeah, you
can't.
see the Ryobi. I know I got
Ryobi's-
the electric, the
That's Home
100.
Depot brand.
Yeah,
That's Home
yeah,
Depot brand.
I'm right there though. They got me.
Oh, I know.
That's Brandon.
I grew up on DeWalt. All the good
Yeah.
contractors I looked at growing up, all ran DeWalt.
Yeah.
man.
You
That
know, I
was-
have some good ass deals. Like if I already got so many gifts that was Ryobi.
Yeah,
I
you're
was just
battery
like-
committed. I tell this
Yeah,
to
yeah,
everybody.
I'm like,
Once you get
dang.
all the cordless batteries
Yeah, I got
from
like
one brand, you
6,
can't get it
yeah.
for anyone else.
Yeah,
I would
like,
honestly
yeah.
be a Milwaukee guy if it wasn't
Milwaukee
for
is
DeWalt.
really good. Yeah,
Milwaukee's got
I
a tool for fucking everything.
Yeah.
And if I
hammer
wasn't so
drill.
battery committed, but I can't now. I got like
Yeah.
I don't know, 15 batteries.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
way too
crazy. Yeah. Same. Yeah.
Anthony, I think that's a good way to end the podcast, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Podcast number. It's
Oh,
supposed to be
yeah,
13. No, isn't it 13? I don't think I changed the number. It's actually supposed to be episode 13. 13, my man.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Dude,
This is awesome.
Isn't this
dude.
fun?
Dude, this is-